P. Ryan, looking so fine. It's a coach. We're set to go. This is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, Samaj P. Ryan. Fresh off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Denver Broncos as they get set to square off against the Oakland Raiders. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game. And now, fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0. Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
North of 100 yards, the two scores, and, you got
each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what, he understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
After the penalty, it's Smith. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his right. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Now let's go!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Forced out to his left. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
A first down carry for Smith. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now a look at Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. the play fake. He'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And this is caught. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Now let's go!
And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. It's their quarterback, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They've got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
And we're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
And one of the things that I think that Derek Carr has really improved in doing since college, his ability to stay in the pocket, things swirling around him, find the right guy, and deliver the ball with accuracy. Derek Carr has great touch when he throws the football.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The last play got... And, Charles, this infraction is going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They'll run it here with Perine, and he will fight his way forward.
It's really tough for any NFL fan to see him go down the opener in New England last year. But one thing we know about him, he's resilient. This is a man who's beat cancer to come back and play at an all-pro level. And why? He can cover in the deep zones. He drops down in the box in the run game, and he can blitz the quarterback. You name it, Eric Berry can do it.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game. The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Flush. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Holding. Offense.
They were looking to throw, holding at a mid-right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Set! Green, 39!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Here we go now.
Back to throw here. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Broncos on the move here a bit. Nice plays in succession back-to-back. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Hey, look at the defensive starters now for the Raiders. They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's about what you consider the break-even mark. If you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, a pretty nice effort.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos will add on to their lead.
Remember the one-dimensional tight ends who just put their hand in the ground and block people? Well, if you're that guy now, you're probably a fullback in an I-formation offense. These tight ends nowadays can do everything. Block, run, and catch. Beautiful connection for a touchdown.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Early down stuffs to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Get down! 185!
From the gun, it's Carr. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here's the Raiders punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at the 23. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. So they have the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long.
Here we go now.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 3rd down. Now back to throw. He can run for it, and he will. And avoids the contact by sliding. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
All right, here we go.
On play action, they'll throw. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And oh, it'll be intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They take over 1st and 10 following the interception.
Monday, down. 185.
It's Perine to begin the drive. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Carr. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's thrown for a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown, so they have to count for a guy that can do a little bit of both.
And because of that, that puts the defense back on its heels. Because normally you just think, okay, he's going to throw the ball. Let's tee off, put a little extra pressure on him. But when he's able to either escape or run with the ball and design plays, that really changes what you try and do on defense.
Yeah, you certainly can't forget about the arm, that's for sure. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
But that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this one is incomplete.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Here we go.
He'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout, and now we're set to get going. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Down. 180.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. He finds Pirine out of the backfield. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Down. 280.
On play action, it's Carr. He uncorks it for Snead. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this in the red zone all the way inside Denver's 15.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Get set. 180. It's on.
Now a carry for Pirine. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Now a stoppage as Samaje Perine appears to have been shaken up on the play. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. And they'll run it here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
To throw on 3rd down. Carr. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Tyus Bowser in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's thrown for a touchdown pass, and he's run for one so far.
When you're able to watch a guy perform at a high level and do it in multiple ways, arm, legs, he really helps his team in a big way. You've got to think that they feel great about where they are in this ball game, and they feel even better about him leading their team.
Now he's hoping to put them into a better spot after this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here we go now.
The pitch goes to Smith. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll set up to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. These fifth-rounders, and to use him as an example, maybe you take a little bit of a flyer on someone, hope you hit gold.
Exactly, because when you get into the fifth round, you're usually not counting on him to become a starter right away. But we've seen so many times, fifth, sixth, seventh, undrafted free agents who come in and make their way, and in a big way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think...
They got his man complete. And they worked this well upfield across the 45. That goes for a gain of 31. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Here we go now.
A handoff to Smith. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They'll look to throw, and he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Detroit!
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Dante Fowler able to drop him for a loss of 4. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down. Makes it manageable now.
They'll set up a throw. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. This quarterback now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Looking to throw. Steps away to his left. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. And McManus able to put it through. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where it was the visiting Colts who were able to pick up the road victory. Jacoby Brissett, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, we head over to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And no one went home happy after this one, as it ends in a rare tie. And finally, Monday Night Football. They've got a good one lined up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Again, here's P. Ryan. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Sometimes with the running game, you stick with it. Look, it's the third. No time to panic.